We could survive that. We could survive that. We could survive it. Hello and welcome to We Could Survive That, your survival guide to the movies. My name is Jack, and today I'm joined by a man who once had a relaxing sailboat ride around Skull Island. It's Chris.
Hello, everybody. I was going to say something really smart and clever in regards to that, and my mind's gone blank.
No change there.
No, I can't remember what I was going to say at all.
If it comes back to you at any point during the show,
I'll let you know.
Just blurt it out.
I will. I'll blurt it out. I'll interrupt you and blurt it.
Good.
All right, lay it on me. What's happening today?
Today we are going to be talking about the extremely long film King Kong.
This is
Peter Jackson's one from
2005.
Yes, 2005. That
Bloody
was such a
good year.
long time ago.
Well, it was only 10 years.
I know, but we're 10 years older.
Oh, I know. How old was I? How old am I now?
I don't know how old
I was
you are.
11.
You're like 50 now, aren't you?
50?
You're like 50.
50?
You look 50.
You look 50 because you got no facial hair. Yeah, look at that.
No,
Look at that. Oh, he looks so
I'm
hurt. Oh, he's crying in the corner. Just go, come back, Jack. Come back to the
No.
podcast.
No, I'm going to find someone else to talk about films with. Right. Yeah, Peter Jackson's King Kong is the topic for today's show. Are we gonna jump right in? Have you got anything you want to say?
Are we covering the normal version, which is about 3 hours, or the extended version, which is about 3 hours, 20 minutes?
Have you seen the extended version?
I have not.
Then we're not covering the extended
I
version
didn't
because
know if- I
I've not seen it either.
I didn't know if you hadn't seen it or not. You may have seen it, and I don't know, it could be an extra couple of deaths in there. Who knows?
No.
If you've seen the extended version and we don't mention any deaths that are in the extended version that you know are in the extended section, then leave a comment below.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Leave a comment, or I'll get the contact out of the way now.
Yeah. Do the contacts.
If you've seen an extra death, tweet at us at We Could Survive, or email us that tidbit of information.
The vital information.
The vital piece. Email us at wecouldsurvivethat@gmail.com. Now let's plunge into the normal, average sized chunk of King Kong. We will start with Jack Driscoll. He is trapped on. Well, he goes to drop off a script to Jack Black's character.
Yep. Do we want to say the characters' names? Oh, hang on a minute. You've said a
I've
character
said-
name and an actor's name.
I know.
Okay, so
I can't find
so
on my
Jack-
notes where
Jack, what's his last name?
Jack Black. I
No,
can't
no,
find
no.
his character's name.
Jack Black's character is
There's-
Carl Denham.
There's Jack Black, the actor, who was Carl Denham.
Carl Denham. Yep.
Carl, inventor of the denim
Then
jeans.
there's
and the
Adrian
denim
Brody's
jacket.
character. No, he's not.
He is.
No, he's not.
Jack Driscoll.
Jack
That's-
Driscoll is played by Adrian Brody.
Yes.
And Anne is played by Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts. Yes.
Naomi Watts, right. And
And
we'll
Lumpy
just-
is played by King Kong.
by
And King Kong is played by Lumpy.
who are both in turn played by Gollum.
Yeah, that's weird. That
What? It's Andy.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, there's Circus. Yeah,
The king of mocap.
the king of mocap.
The king of mocap.
Right.
He is. He's good at that. He's good at the mocap stuff.
He is indeedy. I think we just refer to the characters by their actual character names. So when we say Jack, we mean Jack Driscoll. Adrian
Unless
Brody's
I
character.
say Jack, in which case I mean Jack Black, probably.
Why?
'Cause
Stop
I've-
confusing everybody. Why do you have to make it so
I've
complicated?
I've confused myself already. So Jack Driscoll,
Jack Driscoll.
yes, goes on this boat to drop off a script to Mr. Denham. But before Jack Driscoll can get off the boat, they set sail, which leads me to this discovery. I think Jack Driscoll can't swim
Why?
because he didn't want to be on that boat It's a very
Yeah.
short swim to the dock.
He could have jumped overboard.
He could have jumped. Would have been survivable, and he would have saved himself a whole lot of King Konging around.
Yeah, but I mean, is it really worth it? I mean,
A little bit wet, or months and months on a boat with a guy that drew you there under false pretenses, and you're probably not being paid.
I don't know. I've not been on a boat voyage in a while. I quite like the idea of a boat voyage, especially to if I'm going to an island that's called Skull Island as well. That just sounds awesome.
That's terrifying.
I know. That's why I want to go.
Terrifying.
I'd love to go to a place called Skull Island.
Oh dear.
Obviously, if I had knowledge of the natives, homicidal natives and
Giant
massive
gorillas
beasts and T-Rexes and
yeah.
forgotten creatures of the past, I wouldn't be
Would that make you think twice? Would that dull your enthusiasm for the?
a bit, but I'd also check out what type of food they're serving on the boat. If it's good food and it's been cooked by Lumpy, so it must be good, I'm staying.
Lumpy. Master
Lumpy.
Chef champion.
Oh yes, it makes his food very lumpy.
He does.
Mmm. I
So
want his lumps.
lumps in the porridge.
Oh, we gotta love them lumps. It's just not in the porridge, lumps and everything. I hope.
Do you,
I want lumpy
do you,
gravy.
do you
lumpy
want to
with
know the secret ingredient? It's lumps.
Why is he Scottish?
I don't
He's
know.
not Scottish. Stop doing accents. You do an accent every show.
I know. I'll try to stay away from the French accent today.
I'm sure we can find something else that can do with some sort of helium-inducing.
We'll stay away from. Do you want to know the secret ingredient? It's pickles.
say in your Scottish accent. Say, once you eat the pickles, this happens.
Once you eat the pickles, this happens.
Oh, you went a bit Arnold Schwarzenegger at the end. It was a bit Austrian. That wasn't Scottish. Well, we're drifting here. Let's get back to the film.
Right. Lumpy's secret ingredient, pickles. And Driscoll can't swim, otherwise he would have saved himself the whole hassle.
Okay. Is there any points in the film where he does end up in water and he swims?
Not in the normal version, but I don't know about the extended version.
The extended version's screwing us over already. We're not even 10 minutes in.
Right.
We should have watched that.
Right, let's stop the podcast and we'll go and watch.
We'll see you in 3 hours and 20 minutes time.
All right, bear with us. And we're back.
And we're about.
That was a long
Holy
3
crap.
hours. Man, I did not think that was going to end.
We have cut out so much of our day just to watch that
God.
film in the middle of the podcast.
It's tomorrow now. That's how long it's been.
It started Friday. It is now Saturday.
That's how long it's been.
Bloody terrible.
Right.
But, quite a good film actually. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was nice. Could have done with more monkeys.
More monkeys.
More monkeys.
Yeah, is King Kong the only one of his species, or is there more? Do we know if there were more? 'Cause isn't it under isn't the presumption that there were more, and he's the last one?
Yes, I would imagine.
Because obviously he must have had parents.
Yeah.
So there must have been
Mama
at least
and
two
Papa,
more.
Donkey
Yeah.
Kong and
So why do they all die out?
the
Donkey Kong and what?
Donkey Kong. I was trying to think of another Kong.
Diddy Kong.
Cranky Kong?
Isn't Diddy Kong his son?
I don't know.
Oh my. Oh no.
Why are all the Kongs men?
Yeah, where's the female Kongs at?
This is not good.
Kinky Kong.
Maybe that's why they went extinct. They're all
Yeah,
just
because
male.
there's only male
They're all
Kongs.
male Kongs.
Anyway, let's
Yes.
let's get back to the points of the film that we are here to discuss.
Yeah. 3 hours ago we talked about Jack Driscoll not being able to swim. Now we will talk about the storm that made the boat crash and stranded them there for a little bit.
Okay, at this point we're about an hour or so. Are we?
We are a long way into
the
this
film.
by this time because they've had
Mainly
to set up the whole
everything's
Jack
just set up.
loves Naomi Watts.
Yeah, introducing all the characters. It's quite a
Yeah.
big build up in the film. I remember when I saw it in the cinema, and I remember saying, "That's quite a big build up." That's what I remember doing exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we looked into more detail, there's some good deaths that could have happened there. I want someone to be hit by a car when I was crossing the street, or when Jack Black's character Carl Denham was being chased by the movie producers. and
He
jumps
gets
into
hit
the
by a
car.
bus, not looking.
He gets hit by a car while looking to see where these people are.
Or one of the movie producers is like, I've had enough of this guy, and just pulls a gun out or something.
Pulls a gun. Well, it is
Or
America,
hires a
so
hitman.
they could have been holding guns. It is
Yeah.
America, isn't it?
That's
No, it's their
Very-
Second Amendment.
No, that's
It's their Second Amendment.
vastly stereotypical.
What? It's their Second Amendment.
That's
The right
most,
to bear
that's
arms.
the most racist thing I've ever heard.
Family Guy makes a good joke about right to bear arms. When they're writing it up and they say, "Well, people understand what this means," and then the camera zooms out and it shows 2 bare arms mounted on the side of the wall. They have the right to bear arms. Get it? Bear arms.
I do. It's just not funny.
What is your grudge against Seth MacFarlane? What has he ever done to you? Watch Family Guy and American Dad and Ted.
You can shout me all you want. Boat crash.
Boat
People
crash.
should have died.
Did the boat?
He
Hang on a
got
minute.
stuck between some skull-shaped rocks.
Didn't nobody fall off during the boat?
I don't think so. Or no one of importance fell off.
Why should they have died?
Well, it was very stormy sea. Boat could
Titanic-
have sank.
The Titanic got the bottom half of the front of its hull ripped open. Nobody died from that until it started sinking. But until then, nobody actually died in the initial crash.
You do know the Titanic was a real thing. It's not just a film.
Yeah, and if people survive that, they should be able to survive that. I would easily survive the not the Titanic in the film. No, not the Titanic, not the Titanic. I would have survived in King Kong when the boat struck the rocks and got stuck, because all the other characters on there survived that instant. So there's no reason why we shouldn't survive. There's no reason why it should have sunk then and then. There and then, I mean.
It was just me with a bucket, just filling the bottom of the boat up, bucket by bucket with water, trying to make it sink.
Why?
Because I'm evil and I'm
'Cause
bitter.
you're evil and bitter.
I'm trying to sink the boat bucket by bucket. Okay,
Right.
so you could survive a boat crash that didn't kill anyone.
Yes.
Well
Nobody
done.
died. Well done, me.
you.
Whoopty bloody
That's
do.
brilliant. Now, could you survive the evil, scary tribes people that the film crew meet?
Well,
Because one of the nerdy guy in the beret gets messed up with a very pointy spear.
yeah. I think their first mistake was offering chocolate to the young child.
Yeah, just that makes them look really creepy and
Right, really creepy
Yeah.
and a little bit pedophile-y.
yeah.
Pedophile-y? Pedophile-y?
No, paedophily.
Pedophile-y.
Paedophily.
I think that's what caused the natives
The
to attack.
outrage, yeah.
The natives to attack. I mean, if you find it, you go to this island for the first time, you encounter the native people there. It's a long lost tribe. They've never seen outsiders before. And
But they know a
you
paedophily
and
when they see one.
They know some paedophile acts when they see it.
Yeah.
So
That's-
always be wary. Do not offer chocolate to young, strange children.
yes.
It will never end well.
No.
But what happens? So they get attacked, don't they? Some people die. They pull guns, don't they? Some of the crew have guns.
A few of them do, but oh no, because the first boatload that go over there is just the camera crew, and they're not armed, and then the proper the yard guys from the boat.
Oh, show up and
The-
save them, don't they?
Yeah, and they've got all the guns and stuff, but
I would have survived that. If they came up with spears and stuff, I would have grabbed the camera. Maybe not necessarily the camera, but I just licked my pop filter.
is it tasty?
it
tastes
tasted pretty
good.
good.
Tastes
I probably
good.
wouldn't have come up them with the camera, but I would have got the tripod and certainly used that as a weapon. 'Cause I think-
Swinging it round.
Isn't the tips of the tripod spiked,
No,
so they can stab it into the ground?
in some of them, yeah, but I suppose for health and safety, you'd have to have some cork or something to stop them poking out your eyes.
Screw that! I'd rip the cork
No,
off.
you do
and I
not
would-
screw health and safety. Health and safety screws you.
Yeah, it does. It stops you having fun.
Safe fun.
Not safe fun is boring fun.
Safe fun is the best fun.
No, safe fun's alright. You want a little
Ask
bit of
these
dangerous
guys
fun.
from King Kong how much fun they had. Oh no, wait, they played with the pointy thing and a guy died.
Yeah, one guy. A death happens every now and then.
He had a family.
That's how you know you're alive.
he had a fictional family.
Yeah, they got fictional flowers or half the donations. As Carl Denham says, to everyone that
Yeah,
dies,
he
they're going to
kept
get half
saying
the
that.
donations.
But I
Half
reckon
for everyone.
I reckon after all the stuff that goes down, he's got no money because he got to pay off because King Kong wrecks up a bunch of stuff in New York.
Oh, yeah.
he's got to pay for all
broke
the
after
people that died. He's got to pay for the boat and all the transport getting Kong there and back again.
We'll get into that near the end because I reckon he probably
Jack
took
Black's
his life
credit
at the
rating
end.
on this film must be terrible. He's
Oh,
never
man.
getting a mortgage.
He's never getting anything. He
He's
can't
not.
take anything on
No.
credit.
He'll be lucky if he can get a mobile phone contract.
I don't think. Are we talking about Jack Black now or Carl Denham?
They're the same person.
I know, but you're not gonna. Jack Black's,
Carl
Jack
Denham
Black's
is the
gonna try
teacher from School of Rock.
So
They
wait,
have
you're saying Jack Black's gonna go to a store to try and take out a mobile phone contract. They're gonna watch King Kong and go, bloody hell,
I watched
we
King
cannot
Kong.
trust you.
I watched King Kong, Jack Black. I know what kind of investments you make. They're terrible.
Piss poor investments.
They're really bad.
Right. Yeah. So I reckon I could survive the encounter of the tribesmen. So if I was in part of the first group, I'd have taken a gun with me, because you ever notice when people say in films when they explore strange new places, and then some people take guns, others don't. It's always ones that take guns seem to survive longer. Saying
Wonder
that,
why that is.
you ever seen Alien vs Predator?
I have seen the last 40 minutes of the first one.
Right. Well, in that case, when they first arrive at the pyramid in that film, one of the people takes a gun. One of the female characters takes a handgun with her, and they say, "Why are you taking it? Go on an expedition?" And her response is, "I'd rather have a gun and not need it than need a gun and not have one." So if you have that mindset, you should always take a gun with you when exploring strange new places, and you'll survive.
I'd rather have a tank than not have a tank.
Admittedly, in that film, that character does die,
Oh, that's
So,
very helpful then.
but the gun is used later on to partially save somebody.
What do you mean partially?
Well, it saves him to begin with,
And
and,
dies.
and then he dies afterwards.
Oh, well, we bought him a few seconds of.
It gives him a few more seconds, yeah. But anyway, back
Oh.
back to King Kong. We drift so much off
That's-
topic.
Yeah.
Right, back to King Kong. So I would have survived the encounter of the
Yes,
tribesmen, I
spear with the
reckon.
chest.
What about you?
I would have looked around. Just scouted the environment. If there's a bunch of creepy looking people with big pointy sticks, I'd go. Maybe it's not a good idea to be filming these people. Maybe we should come back when they have the internet. That'd be
When they have the
when
internet.
they have the internet. When they've got good internet connection,
Well, you know the
they'll
time.
be a bit happier then.
But we're going to be surviving in that time period, aren't we? So nobody had the internet then.
I would invent the internet
You're going to invent the internet.
on Skull Island.
I can't help but think you'd die before me in this situation. My survival plan
Hang on,
seems better.
Hang
I
on,
would
I've
take
almost
a
got
gun.
a signal.
I would take a gun.
Don't
and you're gonna
spare me.
invent the internet.
I can
so
get
not
you
to get speared.
Netflix. No,
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
you just burp in their face. That's not very
Burp in their
respectful,
faces,
is
yeah.
it? That's not
Let
good.
me get you Netflix. I can show you the older King Kong movies. Worship the Kong.
Stop motion animation.
Oh, those films are brilliant. Black and white. Love them.
Yeah.
All right, so,
they're good.
I reckon I could survive it. I don't think you could, but you reckon you could.
Probably not. We'll never know. I'm
Oh,
never.
we'll know one day.
I'm
we're
never going
Skull
to a
Island.
creepy island.
Yes, we are. We're going to a creepy
full
island.
of creepy natives.
There's an island in Italy. Forget the name of it, but the Italian government doesn't let anybody go on
Spaghetti
there.
Island.
No, it's not called Spaghetti Island. It could be. I don't know. I can't remember the name.
Spagabolli Island.
But it was a mass burial. What?
Spagabolli Island.
Spagabolli Island. God, you're incredibly racist
I know.
and stereotypical. I'm waiting for the Italian
I'm
accent.
trying-
I'm waiting for the Italian accent.
I was trying to think of a different Italian food. Garlic bready Island.
Linguini? Is that something?
Linguini, yeah.
Linguini?
Linguini.
Mario Luigi? They eat the mushrooms. They trip their nuts off on those mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
We've drifted again. We've gone to Mario.
Just you were saying something about an Italian island.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Is it relevant to films?
It's relevant to creepy islands that we can
Is it
visit.
relevant to the film?
No, but you've been going off.
No,
you've been
you
going off and crap.
started
That's
it.
not relevant.
Right.
Right, let's get back on track.
After they've been ambushed by the natives, they manage to free themselves. They're rescued by the hard men from the boat. They all go back to the boat. They have a nice cup of tea,
And they leave, don't they?
And they leave,
start
and
to
that's
leave,
and
yeah.
that's the end of the film.
And that's the end of the film.
And
The
that's
film
the end
ends.
of
What
the film.
follows then is
it's just the
a documentary about water.
environmental issues.
Yeah, environmental issues
and
facing
yeah,
natives
it's quite deep
of
and
Skull Island.
meaningful.
Oh, very deep and meaningful.
Only
horrendously
joking.
Only joking.
It gets
Really?
worse.
Well, the film doesn't. What the film gets worse, or what happens to him gets
no,
worse?
the situation gets
'Cause I was
worse.
gonna say the film's not bad. I like the film.
Yes, it's okay. It's definitely better than 2012
Oh yeah, by
by
miles,
by
it was better
quite-
than 2012.
by the length of Kong's credentials. I
was
didn't
gonna-
say penis.
Neither did I.
I
was
said
gonna, I was going to say schlong. Yeah, stop
You were
saying.
gonna say
Stop
slong.
talking about penises.
Okay.
He's obsessed. I
Yeah,
tell you.
it gets worse for Anne, who is kidnapped from the boat by one of the tribesmen.
Now, what's ingenious is how they get out to the boat. They tie
You
rope
say
around somebody.
ingenious, I say silly.
But how they move across the rocks as well, running and putting the bit of the pole in, don't they? The bit of
That's
wood.
a long and unwieldy bit of wood.
What
And
is-
I know
what's that
some
sport
stuff
called?
about a long and unwieldy bit of wood, ladies.
Oh my god, you had to go there, didn't you? You had to go there. If my
I mean,
phone.
I've been a pole vaulter. my pole vaulting career is well
when
documented.
did you do pole vaulting?
2012, I got a medal.
Oh my! If my phone.
To be fair, it was just because they felt sorry for me.
God, look at this kid trying.
We'd best give him something.
If my phone starts buzzing with tweets about with women asking about Jack's pole, I'm leaving the show.
I'm a skilled pole vaulter.
Actually,
Now, can
no,
we
that'd be quite
move
funny. I'll
on?
stay on the show. I'm staying.
I'm quite modest about my pole vaulting.
Oh my!
They managed to get an unwilling Anne back to the boat through a very stormy sea by tying her up and just pulling her in with a strand of rope.
Yeah.
Now, I think the sea is too rough, and she and her captor, the native guy that jumped on the boat, should have drowned. They shouldn't have made it, or at least been squished up by the waves against the rocks, been
Only-
turned into a mush.
The only problem is we don't know how other natives can swim. We don't know. They might do us quite. They might be jumping into the water all the
they
time.
steal blonde women from boats all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Or they could just be jumping. They could jump into rough seas all the time. You don't know if they've grown up with it. They could adapt to it. They could be used to it. I do agree that the sea is quite rough. Me personally, even with the rope, I reckon I would have slammed into at least a few rocks.
You would have just
what?
shrugged it off though.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
rock.
Of course, I would have shrugged it
Rock.
off. Oh, you smashed my shoulder. Watch
I-
this. I'm going to punch the rock and break it.
I eat rocks for breakfast without milk. That's how hard.
That's how hard I am.
Yeah.
God, it must be dreadful for you to try and shite.
There's not much fibre in rock.
Oh God, I can imagine it. You must be clogged up. And then when it comes out, it must rip you open.
So they drown.
I would
They
say
die.
the character should have died. At least Anne should have died. Could I have survived that?
If you were
Possibly.
Anne.
Possibly.
So if you were Anne, you would be able to survive that.
If I was Anne, I'd be able to survive it. If I was me, I'd give myself a 70% chance of
No,
survival.
you're Naomi Watts.
If I was Naomi Watts, I probably wouldn't survive. But if I was Anne, I would survive by any means necessary. You look shocked.
What means?
I don't want to go into too much details on this.
Well, we're providing a service to people so they don't get
We're providing us.
so they don't get caught up in these situations.
Well, I
so if
would-
they do get caught up in these situations, they'll be able to survive.
Okay.
You can't just go, I know how to survive, but bollocks to you guys.
But bollocks to you guys. I'm not helping any of you to survive. Why would I? Oh, actually no, because you're avid listeners. I need to help you to survive so you can
Yeah.
listen next week.
Yeah, we need to keep our listeners going. They're always in tricky situations.
Always in tricky
They're
situations.
always in tricky situations.
So then, do you
One of
think
them
you
was
could-
caught in Nakatomi Plaza the other day.
Nakatomi Plaza?
Nakatomi Plaza.
What's Nakatomi Plaza?
Die Hard.
Die Hard? Well,
Die Hard.
is that the name of the building that it took place in?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know that. I
You
missed that bit of the
obviously
film.
weren't paying
I
attention.
missed that part of the film. Apologies.
That's
So, would you survive
terrible.
being Anne and being taken away?
Yeah, because it's one guy. All she's got to do is just scream really loudly, draw the attention of of all
Why she got to scream? Why can't she
draw-
fight back?
draw the attention, or just draw the attention of someone. Draw the attention of Lumpy, and Lumpy will sort him out.
Lumpy.
Lumpy will sort him out. He'll crack him in the head with a
Spatula.
spatula. Or
Lumpy,
cooking pot.
Lumpy runs out with a rolling pin, tackles the guy,
Yeah.
tackles the guy, knocks him out, throws him overboard, then realizes the rope was attached to Anne. She's dragged overboard, dragged under the water by an unconscious body, and drowns.
Lumpy just goes,
Shit.
one less portion of stew with extra and more lumps for us.
More lumps for the lumpster.
Lumpy's not much help then.
Lumpy's not much help in that situation. I personally would have been kidnapped because they would have burst in, gone to kidnap me. I would have been on the as my mum likes to put it, the shitter, and they would have burst in, trying to get me.
Stop
Would not be able
talking
to
about
take
your
me.
bowels. I'm going to talk over you until you stop. Thank you for stopping. Next one, the Brontosaurus chase.
Diarrhea. Sorry, what was that? Go on.
The Brontosaurus chase in the canyon.
Brontosaurus.
I only spotted one guy that died of noteworthy death.
Is that when he got knocked off the cliff?
That was Mr. Wilhelm from. He did the Wilhelm
Wilhelm.
scream.
And how's that scream go?
Wait, I'll put a clip in of it now. That was good, yeah.
That was a good clip.
That's a good clip.
That was clear and precise and to the point. And
That's
I can feel the letters for the copyright flowing in already.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're getting closer and closer.
That's what the scream sounds like. Now this guy, he gets knocked off and he's followed by a Brontosaurus as well.
I could survive that.
You could, as the
I think
Brontosaurus or the
we
man?
could survive that. Oh, he said the title in the show.
Crazy.
Nobody else needs to listen now. I'm looking at my audio recording. That spiked so much. Rest in peace, headphone users.
You've deafened half the audience.
I definitely.
Well done.
That way, I stop them from listening to other podcasts.
Well, some of them might be trying to fall asleep, and you've just
Why they
suddenly
fall
just
asleep?
gone, boom.
Why do they fall asleep listening to a podcast about death?
We have soothing tone.
We have soothing voice because we talk really quietly and smoothly straight into the microphone.
I don't know
Fall
about
asleep.
you.
I will look after you.
Look, half of them will be asleep by now
Here's
already
a
because we've spent so much time bloody talking about other things.
I know.
You're a Brontosaurus. How do you survive?
I wouldn't survive as a Brontosaurus, but I'd survive as the guy.
You'd survive as Mr. Wilhelm.
Yeah, because when he knocked me off, I would have quite easily twisted through the air, grabbed the tail of the Brontosaurus as it fell off behind me, and used that to slingshot myself back up onto the cliff. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No, because you would have swung into the cliff, then the Brontosaurus would have fell down and knocked you off the cliff.
Did I not mention earlier that I can punch through rock? I think we covered that. So
No, we
I'd swing
didn't,
into the
and
cliff.
no, you can't.
Yeah, we did. When you said I'd hit into one of the rocks in the water, I'd punch through it. So
Yes,
you'd
you
swing me
did,
into the cliff, I'd
but I'm
punch
going
through
to
the
edit
rock.
that bit out so I don't look like a
Oh no, leave that bit in.
dick.
Leave that bit in. It is brilliant. You can't edit it out because I've mentioned it, and you can't edit this bit out or
I
this
can.
bit.
It'll just make you look like a loon.
No, if you
What's he talking about? Things he's not said.
I would
that.
drop references to that part of the conversation throughout the rest of this podcast, making it impossible for you to edit out.
So you'd survive as Mr. Wilhelm. you
I would
reckon,
survive. What about you?
by climbing up the Diplodocus's, the Brontosaurus's tail.
I would use slingshot myself back up. I would then land on the back of another Brontosaurus that was running. I would then ride it to safety.
Do you know how I'd survive?
You wouldn't.
I'd run a bit quicker.
How boring is that?
I wouldn't get knocked off the cliff.
I wouldn't run near the cliff side either. I'd run closer inwards. You know, away from the
You've
cliff
not
side.
got much of a choice because you're penned in by the big dinosaur thingies.
I would make the choice.
You would make the choice.
I would make the choice.
No. During the chase, the camera guy Herbs, Lumpy's favourite ingredient is chunks of herbs.
Chunks of herbs. That's
Chunks
what
of
gives it the
herbs.
lumpiness.
That's the camera guy gets eaten by one of the velociraptors. He could have survived this
By leaving the
by
camera.
using by either leaving the camera or using it to unleash kung fu skills against the velociraptors.
So basically, like what I said earlier, by using the tripod as a weapon against the natives, which you disagreed with because apparently that broke health and safety.
Yeah, but you wouldn't like use it as like a spear. You just use it as a blunt instrument to bludgeon the nasty little
I always imagine
extinct
cameras must be quite
buggers to
heavy.
death.
Extinct buggers.
Extinct.
What
They
makes you
should be
think they're
extinct.
Why should they be extinct?
I'll make them extinct. That was my Arnold impression.
That was terrible.
Feel
No.
free to complain.
I think Arnold wouldn't say it like that. Arnold would be more of a let me get into character.
Get to the Ice Age.
Go back to the Ice Age. Come any closer and I will exterminate you.
See a Dalek.
What?
That was the worst.
That's a Terminator Dalek.
That's terrible.
I'll be back, baby.
Herb's ninja skills.
Really, he should have just
Shut-
ditched the camera. I would have survived that by saying, right, screw this, eat the camera, and then when Jack Black's character Carl Denham tried to pull him up, he grabbed hold of the camera and tried to pull him up via the camera, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just no, throw the camera off, grab Jack Black, throw him down, and climb up to safety.
Eat this prick.
That's a key. One of the key survival points is don't be
Sacrifice Jack Black.
sacrifice other
immediately.
characters. Sacrifice other characters to ensure your own safety and survival.
That's
That's one of the key survival
a
points.
touching sentiment
Oh, it is very
for
touching.
the whole human race.
Yes.
Sell each other out.
Yes. Don't be the hero. Sell one another out, and you will survive. You heard that first here on We Could Survive That. Your weekly survival guide to the movies. Goodbye.
We're not done yet. We've
Damn.
still got a few left.
But that outro was smooth.
And the proper outro won't be that smooth.
No, it
It'll
won't.
be
It'll
clunky
be
and
terrible.
ridiculous.
It would be so bad.
But we still have a few moments to go
Absolutely.
until then.
Few
Now,
moments. We're only about halfway through,
King
and we barely
Kong-
covered anything.
King Kong's first brutal murder of a human being.
That was Hayes,
It was Hay. Yeah,
and he squashes him. Is it Haig or Hayes?
Hayes.
Hayes, Hayes.
Yeah, like you said.
No, he wasn't
Yes.
captain, was he? Was he second
He
in
was.
command of the
Yeah,
ship?
he was
What's the official title?
co-captain.
Co-captain.
I don't know. Probably
First man.
executive
First man.
sailboarder person, boat organising.
Is it first man? First. I don't know. I don't know the
He was a guy on a boat,
He was a guy on the
And
boat.
he was quite
second
important.
in command. Yeah. Okay. He was second in command.
and he
looked
got
after
killed by a gorilla.
He looked after a kid called Jimmy.
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 Jimmy is Billy Elliot.
Then why did he die?
What?
Right. He.
Jimmy didn't die, but
Oh, no, he
Jimmy,
didn't, did he?
Jimmy, the guy that played Jimmy played Billy Elliot.
I
So
thought
he
looked
could have
familiar.
he could have outdanced King Kong, challenged him to a dance,
Dance
off.
off.
That
Yeah, but he would have gone. He would have.
that's a movie. I Step Up
Step up.
11.
No,
step up to
6, I
the
think.
Skull Island.
Step up. Yeah, step up 6. The Skull Island throwdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he would have broke out ballet. Was King Kong probably would have broke out pole dancing? I would assume. He swings on the branches. You've got a branch out. and
Yeah,
starts
King
swinging
Kong would
around
have
it,
done the monster
grinding
mash.
against it. What?
King Kong would have done the monster mash.
The monster. What's that?
He did the mash. He did the monster mash.
Never heard of it.
You have not lived.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't sound important.
Could Haynes have taken King Kong out with a precise shot between the eyes?
No.
How
I don't
about 2 precise shots to the
No, I
eyes?
think King Kong.
How about 2 precise shots to each eye, blinding him? Then would Haynes have been able to outbox King Kong?
No.
To Haynes trying to go one-on-one with a
Was the dumbest
with
idea
King Kong,
he could have possibly have had.
Gandalf style on a bridge. You shall not pass.
Yeah, he watched Lord of the Rings and then decided to do that.
Ian McKellen can do it. I'll give it a
Yeah,
go.
If Ian McKellen can do it,
At
I
least
can
this
do
one's
it.
not on fire.
Yeah, this is on fire. No, because King Kong's skin is too thick for smaller bullets. That's why, in the end, it's the planes that killed the beast. Or, as I say,
Not Beauty.
no. Yeah,
Beauty
no,
didn't
Beauty
shoot
did
the
not kill
beast.
it. Right, Beauty may have put him in that situation, but ultimately
Beauty
it was bullets.
distracted the beast.
Yeah,
And then the
bullets
beast got
ended the
riddled
beast.
with lead.
But we'll get onto that. We'll go onto that. Let's rewind. Take it back now, yo. 2 steps this time. Is that how it goes?
You're trying to make references to songs that you have no idea about.
I just
This
wanna
is
put
why
it-
we don't do a music podcast.
I just want to feel important sometimes.
Just want to feel current.
I just want to bring hip
Cool.
and down
You just
down
want to
with the
feel
kids.
cool. Yeah.
I know what the word bae means. B-A-E. I think it's like basically babe, but they take the B out. It's for your significant other or a close friend.
And not like a bay.
Well, no, because it's spelled B-A-E. So imagine the word babe, but you're taking out the second B. It's what the youth of today. Oh my God, youth of today.
So.
Oh, they make me so angry. Children of the 90s, that's where it's at.
Yes.
Children of the 90s.
We were talking about Hayes.
Yeah, well, we went way off topic there, didn't we? Into hating on the younger generation. I would have survived that by not going one-on-one with King Kong. I had King Kong pick me up. I would have wet myself.
You would have screamed, get me down!
Oh, no! give me my jar of pickles and I'll show Kong.
Oh, I'll sort him out.
When he was squeezing me, I would have wet myself, causing Kong to drop me. As he dropped me, I would have landed.
I imagine Kong would have gotten great joy out of your squirming and your
No.
wetting yourself.
If you squashing somebody deaf and they piss all over your hands, wouldn't you drop them?
You'd squish them quicker.
What? Oh, no, I'll drop them out of disgust.
The drop would
I'm not a very
kill
good
you
King
because
Kong.
he throws Haynes down this canyon thing,
That he then tips everybody
and
else
then
down.
yeah, and then he throws everyone else. So your death would just be you've wet yourself. Now you've been thrown down a
Yeah, he
down
would
a
have thrown me,
bottomless cliff.
bottomless cliff, and then when I did hit the bottom,
You'd
in
be
this
dead
bottomless
with
cliff.
wet trousers.
no, I would have landed, and I would have
Had wet trousers and be dead.
no,
Smell of urine.
I would have landed and
You'd
dived,
be dead.
dive forward into a roll, so that I don't take the full impact.
No.
It would have came up, drawn my gun, blasted all the insects off. So when the others falling down, they would have woken up. I would have standing there, piss-soaked trousers, looking violent, going, "Do not worry, I have saved the day once more."
No. So all Haynes would have had to do is just roll.
All he'd do is wet himself, and he could avoid this entire situation. But no, he had to be a man and hold his bladder in. Although when you die, aren't you meant to avoid your bowels? So he probably shat himself at the end of that anyway.
Yes.
So what's the point, Hayes? You should just. Ugh, why don't you just wet yourself? You would have survived, man. You would have survived. That's how Hayes could have survived that.
Haynes could have survived by being Gandalf.
By
Now,
being Gandalf? Is that how you'd survive by being Gandalf?
Lumpy's friend is killed in the fall. He I don't know if he dies in the fall or what have you, but Lumpy gets separated from the others, and when the giant insect battle breaks out at the bottom of the canyon,
Is he separate from the others? He can
yeah,
see the others,
he's the
can't
only but he's the only one fighting the worms, the weird penis worms.
Penis worms.
Penis worms.
They came out of the
out of the mud.
Mud.
While everyone else is fighting the giant cockroaches and things, Lumpy's got a machete and he's hacking to bits these weird worms.
He's doing quite well until one gets on his head. When one gets on his head, that kind of screwed him over a bit. Then, didn't
Yeah,
it?
I can see how that's not very helpful.
I would have, if I was Lumpy, I would have got out of the mud as soon as one worm came up. I would have hacked it, and I would have been out of that mud so fast that piss stains wouldn't have dried on my trousers yet.
Oh, so Lumpy's pissed himself as well.
I think everyone should have wet themselves in that fall. That was terrifying.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, anyone could hold their bladder in that fall is a hero.
There's just one guy, Jack Driscoll's like, I didn't wear myself.
Oh, well.
I shat myself.
I shat myself. What's that running down
Everyone's
my leg?
really impressed. And he's like, yeah. And then he turns around. There's just a stain.
There's just a brown stain going down his trousers and a little
and
bit
everyone
leaking
just
down
looks
some
away and they're
shoes.
like,
I'm just disgust.
oh.
Yeah, so if I was Lumpy and I saw one worm, hacked it, out of the mud and regrouped the others, you don't go one-on-one with a load of creatures.
Well, it's not
and go and
one on
get
one.
yourself
He's outnumbered and
There's even
surrounded.
more reason to retreat back to your
Take
comrades.
my chances with the cockroaches.
Yeah, they seem less vicious, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I felt so sorry for Lumpy when it just bit him on the head. It was just like, oh, game. And it swallows all of his head, and he's still like swinging around, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, there's a thing. There's one grabs his head and then another grabs his leg. So they're eating him from two
Both
different
ends, yeah.
directions. One of them is going to have to give up. That's a Lady and the Tramp spaghetti scenario. That's not going to end well.
They get halfway up his body,
Yeah.
and then one has to back off.
Yeah.
Or
next
it's
time you
over-
watch that film, Think of Lumpy being the spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
And it's not so romantic, is it?
No, not anymore. Unless it's whoever has a bigger mouth, just eats the other worm.
Ooh.
Yeah, just eats the other worm, whoever has the bigger mouth.
Ooh, nasty worms.
Ew.
Also in that scene, there's one guy that tries to climb all the way back up, but gets pinched by a big insect. Now, when you're trying to run away, because you've not pissed yourself like a man, Chris, you stay away from the big scary holes that contain big scary bugs.
Yeah, in all fairness, if you're fighting creatures in a canyon and they're coming out of holes in the wall, you don't climb the wall.
Stay away from the holes in the wall.
So that's how I'd survive that, by not climbing the wall where they've got the holes.
Yes.
You would agree with that?
Here.
Definitely. Excellent. I'm glad we agreed on that one thing.
Finally.
Finally something.
After many episodes, we agree on one thing.
Many episodes. There's only episode 4. We're still young and vibrant
many
and full of life.
episodes.
Right. What's up next? What's happening?
They are eventually rescued from the cavern by the rest of the ship crew.
Oh, they've got the guns
who have
again.
The guns.
This is thrown back to
This
when
is
they were
the
first
second
on the
time.
island.
This
See?
is the second time we've had to save you with guns.
This comes
Damn it, man!
This comes out perfectly to my point. When you go into the unknown, take a gun with you.
Take a gun. They climb out, and then Jack Driscoll, the writer, climbs out on the other side and is still determined to go and save Naomi Watts.
Why did he
from
climb
King
out on the other
Kong.
side?
Because
Everybody else climbed out on
because he
one side.
wanted to save Naomi Watts.
Because he just wants a bit of that Watts.
What?
He wants a little bit of Watts to keep himself warm at night.
He wanted that electricity.
No, that's not what I was
That is a
getting at.
joke, because Watts, amp, never mind, I'll edit it out.
Oh, you're not editing that out.
Editing out my bad jokes.
No, you can't edit out your bad joke to make yourself look good.
I can, and I do it all the
Why?
time. So Adrian runs off to go and confront the King of Kong.
Despite just watching Hayes get squashed by him.
Yeah, silly man.
That's because Brody knows to piss himself.
Yeah, he does indeed.
He does indeed.
So they go off. Luckily, when Jack Driscoll, Adrian Brody gets there, King Kong is distracted by a swarm of bats that are pestering him. So he manages to run in, sweep Naomi Watts off her feet, and then grab hold of a bat and uses it as a parachute to float all the way down. And King's really angry and he goes,
Do you know, I've just realised something. We were going to talk about King Kong later on in the previously in the film Fighting the T-Rexes, and we got sidetracked about Diddy Kong, and we never actually spoke about King Kong fighting the T-Rexes at all. So King Kong versus the T-Rex is multiple T-Rexes, weren't there?
multiple. Peter Jackson changes it up.
Changes it up from
the other ones, the more traditional King Kong ones, where it's Kong versus just the one.
just the one. He
Just
wanted
the
more of a
one
challenge.
T-Rex. So Peter Jackson throws 3 at him.
3 of them. I think parents and a kid. Do you want to say parents and a kid?
Well, I don't think they're related.
No,
They all look about the same size.
Wasn't there's some backstories about King Kong's parents were killed by T-Rexes, and the T-Rexes were responsible for wiping out most of the King Kong's species of
That
giant ape.
Sounds.
I read that
ludicrous.
somewhere. No, I'm pretty sure that's the official thing. I read that somewhere in a book. Because I can read.
You read a book?
I read a book.
You crazy son of a bitch, Chris.
I know. I had a wild
You
streak.
Crazy.
I read a book.
Crazy
I took a
bastard.
shower. Oh, do you know what? That day was just full of things I wish I'd never done.
Read a book and had a shower.
Oh God, I felt dirty just thinking about it.
You feel dirty about being clean.
Oh
Right.
yes. Right.
3 T-Rexes should have been able to rip King Kong apart. If they're just coordinated, one takes a leg, the other 2 take an arm, and then
And
they
pull.
just pull.
That
That's
leaves
it.
that leaves an arm free.
There's
it could
no
have done untold
coordination
damage with
there.
that arm.
No, not if he's been like lifted off and he's being tugged and like on the rack.
The great thing was how he was also protecting Anne at the same time.
Yeah,
The skills of that ape, outstanding. As we know, King Kong was probably smarter than the T-Rexes. Obviously, apes have a greater learning capacity than...
greater than you.
Do we have to bring up my IQ? Every time the show ends, he bullies me. He's like, well done,
Bully you
dumbass.
during the show.
Well done, dumbass. Get out of here.
Well done.
Yeah, that's how he
You-
goes. Every time the show ends and the laptop screens go down, it's well done, dumbass. See you next week. Then get a lonely letter in the post telling me what movie to look at with instructions to, do other stuff. It's very dark and creepy. I don't want to go into it.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm just portraying you as an evil person.
I am, but everyone knows that.
I know, it's brilliant.
Film.
Film, right.
Don't say let me think.
Don't let me think. Let me think. No? Okay, right. King Kong versus 3 T-Rexes. He should have... His wounds, why did they not get infected?
I don't. Because he gets bit quite a lot.
He does.
During that fight. He's not very defensive. He just lets.
Just goes on the offense more, doesn't he?
He just gets bit a lot.
I would have thought their jaw's not powerful enough to somehow rip through the
They
flesh
should
and the
have been.
bones. I would have thought they would have
Yeah.
been strong enough, unless he's just got... he's built like a brick shit house, so he's just got muscle all over and they just couldn't rip through the muscle, maybe.
No, yeah, I imagine they would have been able to.
Do you know what
Or
movie?
you just bite him and then they just shake.
Shake.
Just
He was bigger. Was he bigger or the same size?
About the same size.
I say the T-Rexes weren't bigger than him. If they were bigger than him, it'd be even more ludicrous, but they were about the same size, weren't they?
And a giant ape's not ludicrous.
No, it isn't.
Fact.
It's brilliant is what it is.
Fact.
Yeah, so I reckon King Kong had a good chance of surviving that. Would I have survived it? No, because I'm not King Kong.
You as you against
3
three
T-Rexes,
T-Rexes.
I just wouldn't have moved. Wouldn't be able to see me. That's a commonly accepted
yeah.
theory, isn't it?
Somebody watched Jurassic Park.
Somebody liked Jurassic Park. Are we going to cover Jurassic World at some point? We did briefly in anticipated movie deaths, didn't we?
Yes.
Oh, I look forward to that film. It's going to be good. But anyway, yeah, so I reckon I could survive it by standing still, and then when their backs are turned, run towards their tails. I would have ran towards their tails, jumped up the tail, climbed up the tail, onto the back. I would have then drawn...
And they wouldn't have noticed this.
No, because they wouldn't film me running up their back, because I'm too light. And then I'm like Legolas from Lord of the Rings, bitch.
Nice. Fat back.
And then when I get up to the top, I would have taken out my hunting knife that I keep with me, stabbed them both in the eyes, and then when I slid down the tail like Legolas, jumped off into a forest. I've just disarmed 3 T-Rexes.
No,
Didn't
you've
take a
done one
scratch.
because you've run up one and taken out one.
Oh, then I
of
would have
their
jumped
eyes
across to the others' heads.
and landed in their mouths where they swallowed you.
No,
Oh.
because if they opened their mouths, I would have quite easily placed one foot on their tooth and just pushed on. Open their mouth like, raw. I go into full into their mouth. I go into the splits to stop me going into their mouth. They then snap shut. I jump up, somersault into their head. Whatever way you put this, I'm going
Bite
to
your
survive.
testicles off.
The T-Rexes. But no, my best survival mechanism would have been just standing still, really, and avoiding them. And pissing myself because they don't like to stand to urine.
Yes, that is also true.
Also would have had a gun with me.
Yeah.
How would you survive?
Big gun. Big Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong
Donkey
gun.
Kong. Donkey Kong's friendlier than King Kong.
Is he?
He wears a tie. So
I
he
don't
must
know,
have
I've
gone
never-
into a shop and bought it at one point. Unless he stole it, in which case that's
You
not
criminal
very
Donkey
nice.
Kong.
That's not nice, Donkey Kong. It's not nice.
Would you
at
ever use the
all.
big gun from, was it MacGruber?
Maybe.
God, I went a bit Scottish then, didn't I? Is that MacGruber? You said or what's his name?
MacGruber.
MacGruber. You said you turn up at somebody does turn up at his wedding
At
with
the
a big
wedding.
gun.
Yeah.
You'd get the big gun from there and turn up and use
Maybe
one of the
a slightly bigger gun.
I always think I have much better things for surviving than you in this situation.
But mine are more practical than
But mine
the
does sound good.
rubbish
The
that
viewers,
you come
the
out
viewers
with.
want to see mine.
No,
Right. So
that's terrible.
yeah. So the bats. No, the bats don't attack King Kong, does she?
Mm.
Do they attack Kong?
Yeah, they want some sweet, sweet gorilla meat.
Sweet, sweet gorilla meat.
Don't sing.
Open a
So
wanton
they
avenue.
try to attack him, and then
He fights him off. Show him what the beast he
Brody
is.
grabs one,
Yep.
grabs his lady friend, and then they float down to the bottom of the mountain.
Then does the bat drop them, or do they just let go of the bat?
I don't know how they get off the bat.
But they drop, don't they? And the bat flies off.
Well, they must do. But I reckon the bat shouldn't have been able to fly because
Why?
they're even big bats. They'll be quite delicate.
Yeah, but
So they couldn't deal with the additional weight of 2 extra human beings.
But we're calling them bats, but obviously they're a species of creatures that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world apart from Skull Island, so we don't really know that much about their anatomy, so they might be able to hold extra weight. You don't know how much they're capable of carrying.
2 pounds.
£2 exactly.
I did the
£2.
math.
You did the math.
That's how much they
yeah.
can carry.
Yeah, I can actually see the calculations on your screen. You did do the maths.
I did really do the math.
God, I'm impressed.
So they should have fallen to their death. If that was me, however, paragliding, a far easier and safer way
So how would you have paraglided down?
with a paraglider.
Where did you get this paraglider from?
The paragliding shop.
There's a paragliding shop at the entrance of the cave where Kong is.
Probably. It's a
Probably.
franchise.
I would have ripped the wings off of the bat and used them to fly.
What?
Yeah.
You would have pulled them
Yeah.
off. What would you have done? Would you have held them and flapped them
Yeah.
as your own wings?
No, I would have ripped one off, jumped off and hold one on either ends and use it as a parachute to glide myself down. Oh, yeah. That's good, isn't
A
it?
flesh paraglider.
I would flesh
Fleshy
parachute.
bashy.
Flesh That's difficult to say. Flesh parachute.
So a flesh parachute.
Flesh parachute
is your way.
It's harder
of
to get out of that
surviving
situation.
that.
Yep.
After the ludicrous bat escape, King Kong is drugged like the pussy he is.
Chloroform.
Chloroform.
Brilliant. I love the fact they've launched the bottles at his face and smash it.
Yeah. That knocks him out, takes him out. They drag him onto the boat somehow.
Doesn't show them dragging him onto the boat. How did they manage to do that? Why is there no
that's
storm
probably
raging now?
why-
And where was the native people? Where were they then?
Run away.
Why?
Because the boat rescue people, he was like, I can't be doing with this. Just takes them all out.
Oh, so we're saying that during the rest of the film, when all this stuff is going
The
on,
boatman
Kong
was just
and that
committing
lot and the
genocide.
T-Rexes, the boatman's wiping out the
He was
native
just-
species.
Yeah. Just murdered them all.
You don't know what happened. After they took Kong, there could have been riots. They could have slaughtered each other as their deity was taken. I'm assuming they worship Kong as a god since they gave him sacrifices.
They worship him as, please don't eat us, eat Naomi Watts instead.
Yeah, so once that's gone, what happens then?
They'll be happy.
They
Worship a T-Rex.
they accelerate
Move
thousands of
out.
years and become civilized.
Maybe. They invent Netflix.
The island eventually becomes Australia.
Skull Island becomes Australia. No.
Oh.
So they bring King Kong back from Australia, apparently,
Australia, yeah.
to put him on show in a
Broadway.
theatre.
Is it on Broadway in New
I,
York?
I don't know. It's a stupid idea.
What year is this set in a depression, isn't it?
Yeah.
What year was the Great Depression? It was
Don't
after the 1920s.
If you don't know, don't say.
I did cover it in history in A level.
No.
Cannot remember it though.
Don't.
All right.
We'll get angry letters.
Says the guy that does all the
Yes.
accents. It'd be nice to
They-
get an angry letter. At least we'll get one
It'd be
letter.
nice to get a letter.
Just give us a letter.
So they take him back to the theatre where Jack Black's character thinks it would be a great idea to put him on show. Put him in front of a load of people.
And then tease him with
And
a
then-
blonde lady
yeah.
who he thinks is Anne, but who isn't. That was so cruel.
It's cruel and stupid. Which brings us to the next point. All the people that died in that theatre, because when King Kong gets out, he is pissed and he jumps on them and swipes a load of the audience out of
Yeah.
the way. All that could have been avoided by putting King Kong in a really big cage.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't have time to build a cage, or they couldn't be asked.
They had enough time to do that weird crucify-y thing.
Crucify-y
They
thing.
made him look like Jesus.
Oh, they strung him up with
Yeah.
metal chains. What I loved about those is when it wasn't a part when he's talking about the chains and saying how thick and big they are so they can't be broken. And he smashes out
Oh.
them so easily. But it's just the fact the only reason they managed to do that is because Kong just looked defeated, didn't he? Until they pissed him off with Anne and he ripped the
Yeah.
crap out of them.
He was not happy when he got out of those chains. So unhappy that he managed to find Anne and then run up a skyscraper.
Didn't he just go on a rampage looking for her and then she found him?
Yes.
And Adrian Brody's character just sort of came along as well.
Yeah.
Well-
He was just there. He saw the whole thing going on and then ran
Well,
up to the top of the
yeah.
skyscraper and then gave her
He
a
got
hug
up there
at the end.
fast.
He did.
If he could get up there, why couldn't the army get up there?
Well, they had the planes. Why?
Yeah.
Why send army people up there when you
When
got the
you've got
RAF?
the planes.
Yeah.
It's not
We-
the RAF, it's in America.
What do they call it then?
Just the American Air Force, isn't it?
It's,
the
isn't it?
RA
I don't know.
The
I'm not-
RAF is the Royal Air Force for the UK.
The Presidential Air Force then.
The
PR.
It's called, I'm pretty sure it's just the American Air Force.
Okay. Well, they have them.
Right. So send them up,
And they
then
shoot
you
King
get
Kong.
and then you get the classic movie scene of King Kong on top of the Empire State Building with Anne fighting the airplanes. Then you get the classic quote, don't you? It wasn't the planes that killed him, or I don't know the exact quote, but beauty
that's
killed the beast,
good.
isn't it, or something?
I'm going to quote a famous quote that
And
I
I
don't
can't-
know.
I don't know it word from word. Something like the planes got him, and then Jack.
Ah, yeah, the planes got him all right.
Why is
I'm
there a
lumpy.
Scottish-
I'm back from the dead, and I've turned into the bird's eye man.
Yeah, why is Lumpy doing this? I've not seen the Bird's Eye Man in years. He's probably dead.
Because he was eaten by worms.
Eating by worms.
No,
No,
you're thinking it wasn't. It was Beauty killed the beast. That's what you're.
yeah, but it goes. Someone says
It goes
the plane's finally
like
got
that.
him. Someone goes, the plane's finally got him. What was that? That was so bad. I tried it. Wish I hadn't. I'm sorry.
That was appalling.
I can't. Oh God.
You can't do it.
Is that your American accent? Do your American accent. You love accents, so do your American one.
I'll do my southern accent. But they was in New York. They don't know about corn on the cob over there.
That sounds like Mississippi.
That is the southern accent.
Do your New York? What's your New York accent? Shout taxi New York accent.
Taxi.
Taxi. Oh God, I'm not even gonna finish the word. I can't do it. I'm not an accent.
So no,
guy.
what was the quote that you've been trying to get out
Oh.
for the past 5 minutes?
Yeah, the quote. One character says, "Oh, is it the planes got him? Well, the planes finally got him." Jack Black's character Carl Denham then comes in and says, "No, it was Beauty that killed the beast," or something along the lines of that. But it wasn't the Beauty that killed the beast.
It was the plane.
It was the bloody bullets that ripped his body to shreds.
Yes.
I wonder what they did with the body afterwards. Do you think they studied it, or do you think they ate it?
Carl Denham probably put it on display. Money grabbing bugger.
Actually, yeah, it probably was put on display.
Yeah. Carl's like, maybe I should have done this in the first place.
Yeah,
Would have saved myself a lot of trouble.
the creatures, he's just like the animal's dead or the creature's dead, but there's still a way to make a shit ton of money off
I
of
can
this.
still make money. He turned King Kong into a giant puppet.
So, how Kong could have survived climbing the Empire State Building?
Wearing a bulletproof vest. Done!
Damn, that's ingenious.
That's the end
That's-
of the
that's done.
show.
There is no need for anything more on that.
That's the real end of the show. Thank you for listening. It's now Chris's bet.
Oh, can I not say how I would have survived it?
Would you have worn a bulletproof vest?
No. Actually, I would have climbed up there, and you know what I would have done then? I would have remembered what Jack and Ant did with
Remembered
the
you were scared of heights.
Yeah,
and
and gone,
climbed back
oh,
up.
oh, no. No, I would remember what Jack and Anne done with the pterodactyl and gone, if they can do it with pterodactyls or giant bats, I can do it with planes. I would have jumped off, grabbed hold of 2 planes, and just flown to safety. Yeah, look stunned and shocked.
That's the worst.
It's better than bulletproof vest.
I'll let you end the show now.
We're ending the show? Okay.
I'll let you take what little dignity you have left.
I don't need your dignity or
And-
your pity.
End.
My dignity, I mean. Okay. Thanks.